All right, welcome back, everybody, to Zero Dark Nerdy, the world's most notorious pop culture podcast. I am here with the stars and director, producer, and writer of the upcoming Night Nurse, coming out on July 10th. We got Georgia Bernstein, Gemma Paksoy, Bruce McKenzie, and Mimi Rogers. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Happy to
having
be
us.
here.
Oh, well, I'm very, very glad to have you. I still get nervous doing this. I've been doing this eight years, but I also suffer from anxiety and depression. So once we get into it, the nerves will go away.
You
We're
got
here for you. We're here for you.
I appreciate
you
it.
gotta take a beta blocker.
Oh, true, true. I try to take it all. To be honest with you, I already have I'm already set up for a retirement home at the age of 45, so it's perfect timing that we're going to be talking about this movie here. So the first question I have for Mimi, George, and Jemra, what was your first reaction when you read the script, the screenplay from Georgia? And whoever wants to start.
I'll hop in. I don't know how much of the backstory you know, but I've known Georgia since she was 6 years old. She and my daughter Lucy grew up together, went to school together. So my daughter Lucy is actually one of the producers on the film. And yeah, so I've known Georgia most of her life, and she was very creative in making little movies around my house, even as a kid. She went to Northwestern. She chose to stay in Chicago. I knew she was getting involved with the independent film world. And then she called one day and said, Mimi, I've written the script and I wrote a part for you. I hope you'll say yes. And I said, of course, the answer is yes. And she said, do you want to read it first? And I said, I don't need to read it first. Obviously, I will read it. But of course, the answer is yes. And then when I got the script, it was impressive. I was very taken with it. I was intrigued at kind of a view of Georgia that I hadn't had before, with this psychosexual kind of noir situation going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really liked it, and I really liked my character, Dr. Mann, because there's a ambiguous nature to many, many things in this film, and nobody's direction is completely clear and straightforward, and that goes for Dr. Mann as well. And I find that much more interesting than what you would expect, or the kind of stereotypical view of things.
Sure, sure. That's fantastic. Bruce, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I the the impression that it made on me at first was about the uniqueness of the world building in a way. And I know that's normally something you talk about in terms of like sci-fi or something like that. But the way in which there was a kind of ostentatious disregard for certain details about what might make the story work in the real world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which sort of leads to this kind of floaty, ethereal world, which is familiar and recognizable, but not grounded in the now because they're using, for instance, a landline, not grounded in sort of ironclad details about what is Douglas's particular illness, or what are the police actually pursuing in the crime, and how do they find out different things. Uh, it was very unique in that way, and reminiscent of a lot of filmmakers that I have a lot of respect for. The second thing that it really impressed me was the length of scenes. I come from theater, like I mostly do theater. That's kind of like my bread and butter. It's not a lot of screen work.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing that was remarkable about this screenplay was the length of scenes and the way in which, as an actor, when you're on set and you're doing a full take of something and it lasts for a while, and it's a way of working that I was really familiar with and comfortable with and admired about the screenplay. Now, not all of these scenes, survived uncut, but when you're actually crafting the product, to get a chance to play from this place all the way to the end of the scene. And we didn't really, when we were doing different takes of things, there weren't a lot of cut-ins. We
Sure.
would do the scene, and that was a treat. It was, yeah. And it was clear that, from the get-go, from the screenplay, that was going to be the way it would work.
Nice, nice. Jamra, what about you?
Um, I think I knew that. I guess I think Georgia and my tastes like align quite well, and I knew that I would like it. But when I read it, and I honestly, it's every little girl's dream to play a troubled young woman with dark, twisted desires. Um, that's what every little girl dreams of. And so I was like, damn, not only is this script really good, I get to live out my dream. So I felt like a jackpot in that way.
Now you can bring Billie Eilish's sold out tour home with her brand new concert film, Billie Eilish Hit Me Hard and Soft, The Tour. Co directed by Billie Eilish and James Cameron, this immersive all access experience takes you behind the scenes and closer to Billie than ever before. Buy on digital and watch at home now. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, Georgia, the idea theme from this movie came from an experience that you went through yourself with, was it your grandparents? Was it your parents? Like, tell us a little bit more how this all came about.
Yeah, so my grandma was nearly scammed in a scam that's sometimes called the grandparent scam.
Hmm.
And in this case, it was someone called her pretending to be my brother. And he said that he had been in a horrible car accident. He needed help. He needed money. My grandma went all the way to the bank, and the bank tellers told her this is a scam. And we're lucky that she didn't go through with it. But what I kind of became interested in from that is this sort of like performance of the scammers and these people out there that were calling strangers pretending to be somebody else. Like it was so performative, and I thought um it could make it would be a good seed for a film. And so I started to think about how I could like twist the scammers into an erotic thriller.
Oh, excellent. And it is, I mean, you definitely nail it from beginning to end, which is great. And this is your first feature as a writer, director, producer. Tell me a little bit just like how the process was, the nerves kind of getting into it, and like when did you feel throughout the process that you were just really getting the flow of things?
I don't know, it's like, do you ever get the flow?
Yeah.
I feel that yeah, I mean, so I come from like kind of like a producing background. I produced two really, really low budget films. And so I think like making those films made me like a very practical filmmaker in many ways. Like I think when I put this script together, it was like, okay, I want to make something that we can actually make. And that and I want to make it with my community and the people that I know and love. And so I like wrote it for Jemre, wrote it for Mimi. And of course I did not know Bruce when I wrote the film, but he brought so much amazing stuff to the film. So but yeah, it was like so because it was my first film, I really wanted it to like happen. So I just like really made sure that like every element was really was really gonna happen. Like for example, we filmed in my grandmother's real house. Um and I like wrote the entire film to be made in her house. So like even like each room and all the choreography was like designed around this house and what could we accomplish in this neighborhood and things like that.
Okay. Excellent.
So I guess the flow to answer the question like am I in the flow? I think every stage of making a movie has its own flow. And
Sure.
right now we're in the release flow. It's a different flow, but we're flowing.
You're there. You're at the end of the rainbow right now. So you're doing press days, movies coming out soon. So that's exciting. And, just real quick, do you have any just kind of tips and advice? My daughter's an aspiring filmmaker, but just for
Okay.
all the filmmakers out there, when it comes to getting your shot just like this.
Wow, advice. I feel like silly to be in a place to even give advice, because I feel I'm also like constantly needing advice myself.
Sure.
But I think like advice I would give is just to like, just be making things. And to not like wait for someone to give you the opportunity, I think is like kind of what I've learned is like, put something together that you can make with your community and just like put it on its feet because um I think people get kind of gets can get stuck when they're like w waiting for someone else to say like you can go and do it now. Because it
Right.
kind of like that time like never really comes. It's sort of like it's always gonna feel like you're like pushing
Well,
whatever
it's
the
sort
phrase
of like
is.
what you did, Georgia. Find anything that you can do and do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um, because nobody's just going to hand you an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And I mean, plus that this experience was so close to you, it comes through on the screen as well with the performances, with the writing, with the story. I'm just one of those people where it's like, I don't like the saying fake it till you make it. It's just one of those, like, I really feel like when someone's passionate about something, it's really going to shine through, whether in the
Mhm.
writing, whether on camera. And Night Nurse definitely did that. Now, give me one second here. For Jemray and Bruce, your relationship throughout the movie, of course, becomes like increasingly complicated. As a duo, how did you navigate that? Was there a lot of like pre-scene work, or were you just kind of letting it fly as the moment came in terms of the script and of course the shoot?
We there were some sequences that were rehearsed, staged, mainly so that we could be efficient on set when everybody was there. We had what, Georgia, like 3 days or 4 days of rehearsal
Yeah, something like that.
in Grandma's house, so on location, uh, before we started filming. And yeah, I think I don't know. I think Jem and I just kind of trusted each other from the get-go.
Yeah, I don't know if we did anything specific. I guess one thing that was interesting that we sometimes uh talk about is that we filmed all of our duo scenes, like all the scenes where we're alone together in the first week of shooting, which was the more intimate and intense scenes perhaps. So that was definitely like we just got close really fast.
There was no time to dislike each
There's no
other.
time. There's no time for hesitation. There's no time for hesitation. I think we were just like both passionate and determined, and we just went for it.
Love it. I love it, especially being in the moment. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, with a movie with such a serious and intense tone, how would in this, this goes for Mimi, Bruce, and Gemray, right? I'm saying
Yeah.
it right? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. um, for such an intense movie, what would you do to kind of like get back to normal? Whether if it's like before the scene and between the scene, but definitely after the scene, just to kind of like relax a little bit, or were you just keeping the intensity until the day wrapped up?
Every actor kind of has a different method of what works for them. Um, some people have to get into character and then just stay in character really, throughout the duration of the shoot. For me, um, I'm in the work when I'm in it, but then when I'm not, I don't feel the need to necessarily stay there. So, yeah, I mean, for me, I don't, I can't speak for Jean-Marie Bruce, but for me particularly, it was kind of easy to slip in and out. You kind of create a shoe
Hmm.
that you can put on and that you get comfortable with,
Yeah.
and then you can take it off and put it on. And for me, that works.
Yeah. You know what's funny when people ask me this, like, how do you feel it's so intense? Maybe it's easy to say this in retrospect that it didn't feel that intense when
Okay.
doing it. And I think if it was intense, I would I don't know. We would just like Georgia would drop me off, which was like a nice ritual we had. She would drop me off at the apartment I was staying at, and we like debrief the day. And I would go to sleep. I also don't think I take too much of it with me or in a weird way. Maybe I bought in. I just yeah, it didn't feel perhaps as intense to me when we were doing it. Maybe that's weird, but it
I
really did.
I want to say about you, Jem. Ray, like, is a for this performance specifically, like, I think you like would approach um every day and like set almost like an athlete. Like, she would come in like kind of like headphones and like
I listen to a lot of music actually. That would help me.
Okay.
I think yeah, I would listen to a lot of music. That's true.
Fear comes home. Nowhere is safe. Prepare to scream. Buy or rent Scream 7 on digital now. It'll be a killer time.
Um,
Any particular like playlist or songs
it
or
kind of
artists?
depend on the vibe of the day.
Okay.
Um,
I would always wonder what you'd be listening to. I mean,
what
and
do
I
you
didn't want
like
to
to
ask.
know?
I didn't want to ask because I wanted that to be like all yours. But I just kind of look at you sometimes and be thinking, what the fuck is she listening to right now? Oh, I'm sorry. Should I
Oh,
not?
you're fine.
Okay,
We're not going to be picked up by Disney Channel anytime soon.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Uh,
Awesome. And Bruce, for you, any, are you in it for the entire shoot, or, how do you kind of progress with this process?
Nah, for me, it's always like I don't take it home.
Yeah.
Um, I take it very seriously, but I kind of feel like the way I like to work is just to have trying to think of like a good metaphor for this because it's just about sort of being ready. Like I'm not necessarily listening to music on set, but the books and the films and the music I'm sort of feeding myself with during the course of a process, whether it's in the theater or on a shoot, is all curated to feed what I'm having to give for the work.
Okay.
And so what I'm just sort of walking around with in my brain is going to make me ready to do the work when the work needs to be done. And I sort of think like when you'd be on set and it's coming time for the camera to start rolling, and it's just sort of like you're in a pool and you let the air out of your lungs and
Yeah.
then you sink. And when you need to come up for air, you come up for air, but you're always in the water, right? And I've done that with the stuff that I'm sort of feeding myself during the process. So when I get home, I'm not the character. It's not working that way for me.
I like it. I know we're running short on time. It's crazy. I have like all these questions and I never know if I have enough, but we are a pop culture podcast and we love knowing like what the people that we're interviewing are into. Since this is a thriller, and Georgia, will start with you. What is one of your favorite? It doesn't have to be like your number one, and this is for everybody. What are, some of your favorite, or if you just have one like favorite thriller of all time, and we'll just go down the list.
Can I do erotic thriller?
Oh yeah, please do.
Okay, my favorite erotic thriller is Crash. Cronenberg's Crash.
Nice, nice, excellent.
One of my favorites that I talk about all the time, I think you guys have seen it, Georgia and Jemray, but if you haven't, you should, is Clute with Jane Fonda
yeah.
and Donald Sutherland.
Incredible.
Just a brilliant film.
Oh, I'll definitely have to check that one out. I always
Oh,
want to
yeah.
introduce myself and, of course, the audience to new stuff. So I appreciate that recommendation,
Yes.
Amy.
I actually
Clute.
watched that like last month.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
They're both incredible. I think I'm gonna say In the Cut.
Mm.
Jane Campion.
Mm.
With great Meg Ryan.
Nice, nice. Last but not least, Bruce.
Is it a thriller? Trouble Every Day? Would you
Hmm.
call that a thriller?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
Ish?
is what you make it. Yeah,
it's a vampire movie.
Yeah,
Being
there's no
vampires are
wrong answers here. We just like to know
Frankly,
what you think about.
thrilling.
If that's what's in your head, then that's what
Yeah.
it is.
I would also recommend on the Donald Sutherland side, Don't Look Back.
Ooh, good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Good
Oh,
one.
no, Don't Look Now.
Yeah,
With
that's
Julie
it.
Christie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nick Rogue.
Excellent. Excellent. I know you got a bunch more interviews coming. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your press day. I can't wait for everybody to see it. Again, Night Nurse, July 10th. Bruce, Mimi, Jemray.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so happy. English is not my first language, so it takes me a little while. And Georgia, thank you so much for joining us. For our audience out there, be sure to let us know what you think about Night Nurse. I can't wait to watch it again. I watched it, but it was like, I was trying to get it in, but I'm going to watch it with the wife tonight because she loves thrillers. So I'm excited to watch it again. But you guys were all fantastic. Great film. I'm wishing you nothing but success and the best of luck. And thank you so much for joining us here at Zero Dark Nerdy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.